Hello student, happy Diwali and happy new year to your family. Achieve the goal in your life, whatever you like. There is a one quote of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. See dreams, dreams come in your thought come in your action, and action come in your success. Dear student, in this video you can hear some crackers because today is Diwali. Okay, so today we are going to continue chapter number 9, Heredity and Evolution. Today we are going to learn about evolution and classification, homologous organ, analogous organ, fossils, relative methods, dating fossils, evolution by stages. So we will start. Evolution and classification, both evolution and classification are interlinked. Classification of species is reflection of their evolutionary relationship. So evolution and classification, so both are what? They are interlinked. Both evolution and classification are interlinked. First point in that classification of species is reflection of their evolutionary relationship. Okay, so whatever classifications are there, they are directly depend upon what? Evolutionary relationship. Second, more the common characteristic between the two species, the more closely they are related. So whenever we find two species are there, like we can see the monkey, chimpanzee and human or other organisms are there. If you find more common characteristic between two species, the more closely they are related. The more closely they are related, the more recently they have common ancestors. So as they are very closely related, they have the very common ancestors. Similarities among the organism allow us to group them together and to study their characteristic. So main thing is what? Whenever we study, then if we find the similarity, then similarity among the organism allow us to group them together and to study their characteristic. Tracking evolutionary relationship. In that first we are going to learn homologous organ, in that morphological and anatomical evidences. So what is homologous organ? These are the organs that have same basic structure but different function. Okay, so what is homologous organ? They are the organs that have the same basic structure. Basic structure is same, but what? They have the different function. Basic structure is same, but what? Function is different. Homologous organ provide the evidence for the evolution by telling us that they are derived from the same ancestor. So homologous organ also provide evidence for the evolution by telling us that they are derived from the same ancestors. Four limb of horse, now it convert into running. Wings of bat, now wings of bat is used in the flying, and here you can see the full four limb of horse. They are basic structure are same but their function are different. And paw of cat, that is walk, scratch, attack, have same common basic structure but they perform different function. So you find that here in the four limb of horse, wings of bat, okay, have the common basic structure but they perform the different function. Analogous organ, these are the organs that have the different origin and structural plan but same function. Analogous organ provide the mechanism for the evolution. So analogous organ provide the mechanism for the evolution. Okay, here something is different compared to homologous organ. Homologous organ, in that what happened? The structures are same but what happened? Function are different. But in analogous organ, these are the organs that have the different origin and structure. Okay, they have the different origin and structure but same function. Analogous organ provide the mechanism for the evolution. Example, wings of bat have the elongated fingers with skin fold, and wing of birds have feathery covering along the arms. So we can see that wings of bat have the elongated fingers with the skin folds, and wings of bird. Wings of bird and wings of bat are different but their function is same. Have feathery covering along the arm. They have different basic structure but perform the similar function of flying. So bat and the birds, they have the different structure are there but function is same, flying. Fossil paleontological evidences, the remains and relics of dead organism of the past. So fossil Archaeopteryx possess the features of reptile as well as birds. Okay, so here this is the one type of bird is there, that is at the time of dinosaur it possesses the features of reptile as well as bird. This suggests that the bird have evolved from the reptiles. The remains and relics of dead organism of the past, that is called the fossil. And fossil fuel means what? At high temperature and pressure, the part of animal and plant, they are converted into the fuel, that is called the fossil fuel. This suggests that birds have evolved from the reptile. So from this Archaeopteryx, from that we can suggest that the birds have evolved from the reptiles. Estimating the age of fossil. So we have different methods, are the relative method, dating fossil, okay, relative method. On digging, the fossil which are closer to the surface are more recent than the fossil found in the deeper layer. So whenever we dig the soil, at that time whatever fossil we are getting, that fossils are closer to the surface, are more recent, which are very nearer, they are more recent than the fossil found in the deeper layer. Second, dating fossil, carbon dating method. It is done by detecting the ratio of different isotope of same element, that is isotope of carbon 14, which is radioactive in the fossil material. So by the amount of carbon 14, we can also find out the age of the fossil. That is called the dating fossil, carbon dating method. Now radioactive elements means those elements which produce the alpha, beta and gamma rays. Now why they produce the alpha, beta and gamma rays? In that number of proton is less than the number of neutrons. So the nucleus is become unstable, and to get the stability they emit the alpha, beta and gamma rays. Evolution by stages. Complex organ like eye have evolved from the rudimentary organ. So rudimentary organ are those organs which are not completely developed during the embryonic development. Okay. Example, rudimentary eye in the flatworm might be useful enough to give only a fitness advantage, and the structure of eye in different organism is different, indicating that different evolution of origin. So we can see that rudimentary organ or rudimentary eye means what? It is not totally developed during embryonic stage. Okay, so rudimentary eye in the flatworm might be useful enough to give only a fitness advantage, and the structure of eye in different organism is different, indicating that different evolutionary origin. So evolution by stages. Complex organ like eye have evolved from the rudimentary organs. A change that is useful for one property to start with can become a useful later for quite a different function. So what happened? Initially the particular part are there or organ are there, it is not that much use, but afterwards it is become a useful later for quite a different function. Example, feathers might start as a providing insulation in the cold weather. So initially bird in that feathers are there, that is only useful to provide the insulation in the cold weather, but later they might be useful for the flight. Some heavy birds and reptile also have feathers, but they do not fly. So how we get this idea? Because some reptiles and heavy birds, they have also the feathers are there, but they do not fly. Okay, some very dissimilar looking structure evolved from a common ancestral design. Example, wild cabbage, okay, was cultivated as a food plant, and many different vegetables were generated by the artificial selection over the last 2000 years. Selection of very small distances between the leaves give rise to the cabbage we eat. So because of the selection of very small distance between the leaves give rise to the cabbage. So from wild cabbage, here we are getting the cabbage, which is a very small distance between the leaves give rise to the cabbage that we eat. Selection for the arrested flower development give rise to the broccoli. Okay, so arrested flower means what? That is stopped to become a flower. Okay, selection for the arrested flower development give rise to the broccoli. Selection for the sterile flower, so pollination not occur, give rise to a cauliflower. Selection for the swollen part gave rise to the kohlrabi, that is the variety of cabbage. Selection for the larger leaves give rise to the leafy vegetable, that is called kale. It suggests that if this selection were not done, then there would have been only wild cabbage. So if the selections are not done, then only wild cabbage are there. There is not a kale, cauliflower, kohlrabi. Okay. So dear student, today we learn about the evolution and classification. We learn about the tracking evolutionary relationship. In that we learn about the homologous organ, analogous organ, fossils, relative methods, carbon dating method, evolution by stage. So this is all about the today's portion. Again, Happy New Year, Happy Diwali. God bless you. Thank you so much.